Hello everyone, I have some new dies for you. These are the Marianne Creatables collection, and they're kind of a lacy, very intricate, beautiful die collection, which have already been proven popular. I have sold a lot of these already. And I just got these back, my designs, from Jenny Williams, who did a really nice job to demo them for you. And it's a set of 3 dies. And the first die is LR0200, which is this one on the left. And there's LR0201, that's the one in the center. And then there's LR0202, which is this filigree one here on the right. And it's a very beautiful, elegant collection, like I said, and I want to get into the cards, and then I'm going to come back and show you some ideas that Jenny gave me, told me after she had made the creations. So this first card, I'm going to go with this beautiful kind of stencil design here, and I'm going to zoom in on that so you can see it up close. But it's using the corner die, this one right here, the LR0200, and along with this die right here, the border die LR0201. And here's the 201 is down here on the bottom, and you can see, I'm going to bring that up close so you can see how Jenny stenciled those with some pastel, probably pastels. And then at the top she cut the layers out, and how she did this is here she cut it out on an angle, and then cut these other 2 pieces and tuck them in under that angle paper. So you have the 2 pieces here tucked under the angle with some pretty pattern paper. And then just to continue the design, she put one of those inside the card, which is a really pretty touch. I always like an inside decorated card, but for video purposes, the outside is what you guys like to see for the ideas. So I just want to zoom in so you can really see this detail of how these dies cut and emboss. Where this is blue, it's raised, and these are all perfectly cut little squares. Imagine doing that by hand. That would be so hard to do, along with these edges, and it just gives this really lattice looking beautiful card. And then she added the pearls for embellishments, which is always nice. I'm going to go on to the next card. The next card is white on white, a wow card, white on white, and these beautiful purple pastel flowers. Now this die is one of Marianne's creations that I've had in a previous collection, and I do have it for sale. If you're wondering what it is, it's LR0151. Just drop me an email at dutchpapercrafts@gmail.com, and I can get that to you. And for this card, she used this die right here, the filigree, kind of like an arm die, I call it, and that's number LR0202. And she used again, that corner one, which is probably, I think, my favorite, LR0200, these 2 dies to make this card. And also I want to point out these leaves. These leaves are it's a very popular die, and a lot of people like it. It's LR0156. It's a floral die with 2 leaves, and it has been very popular. And I'm going to just kind of zoom in on those and show you how those leaves look with that rose. And then of course I want to get to the details of this arm die right here and how pretty that is. Now let's see if we can zoom right up there, and I can show you just how beautiful that die comes out when it's embossed and cut. It's just very pretty die. And then over here, the corner, you can see, again, that's a beautiful die too right there, and how pretty that comes out when embossed and cut. And it's very simple cut too. You know, just run that through your machines one time. The Marianne dies cut clean. They have the little holes in them to push the excess papers out, so there's no it's very easy to clean out the die for the excess pieces. And with these, the holes are big, so they just push out. I like to use a piercing tool to push my excess pieces, but a white on white card is always elegant and beautiful. I'll just show that on for the contrast. I'll take away the white paper so you can really see how pretty that card is. Okay, I'm sorry about the phone. I don't have control over it when my phone rings, and I never take it off the hook because of my dad, but just excuse me for that. Here is our next card, and this one uses again that corner die. I think Jenny liked that die too. It's LR0200, and thank you, Jenny, for the beautiful samples. Jenny always makes me so many samples, and she really utilizes dies in different ways. I appreciate that so much. So she used that one, and this looks like a Spellbinders die to me if I had to guess. I do not carry Spellbinders products. This right here, this filigree, that's a Marianne die, and I do have that in stock. That's number LR0157 for those of you that are interested in that. And I'm going to just get up close so you can kind of see the details of the pretty flower added with the brad, and then how kind of that little, adding that little dauber of, looks like of some brown edgings, and stenciling again the edges with brown to match that nice brown paper along with the brown flower. Makes a very sweet card. And what's nice about this collection is the cards are just very beautiful no matter what you put with them. You know, you think of butterflies and flowers and even any pretty little designs. If you don't want to get your rubber stamps out and make a center of a card, these cards just work well with the dies themselves, which is always nice. Okay, next card has a little more color and very pretty. One of my favorite colors is purple. I like all colors, but I like colors that flowers are, and there are a lot of purple flowers. And again, we're looking at this corner die here, the LR0200, and just any kind of border of a scalloped circle. And I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to bring it up. It says thank you in the center there. And she cut out 4 separate of the corner dies and put them edge to edge, and it naturally made this kind of a I think of a kind of like a quilt, a natural kind of quilting with the lace on the edges here, and it's just beautiful, and the pearls underneath to accentuate. That is just a lovely card, and I bet that card doesn't take a long time to make. It took Jenny, I'm sure, a long time because she thought it out, but now that you have the idea, again, I want to show you how nicely that embosses up. You can just make this and crank this out. You know, you cut the edging of the bottom to be a little bit smaller than that, put the backing there on a square card, cut out some circles, put a sentiment in the center, and you've got a card. Last card, we went with some blue color here, and all 3 of the dies are used here. Oh, excuse me, no, there's no corner die. It's the other 2 dies. We left out the corner die on this one. So we have the LR201, the border, and the LR202, kind of like the wavy arm there. And she put this adorable tag in. It says happy birthday and many more, and she kind of layered this so that could slip in. That's a wonderful idea. I love kinetic cards, things with motion and movement in them. And I'm going to bring this up close so you can see how beautifully that arm, the detail of that die, it's just gorgeous. And again, with that border too on the bottom, how pretty that lace in those edges are. Added a few butterflies and the tag, and you've got yourself a very nice card. Now, one of the hints Jenny said is she said she wished these dies came in sets, and I kind of emailed her back and I said, well, when you want to make corners, you don't run it all the way through your machine, and you run like a corner in. And she said no, it didn't work because it crushes the embossing and it flattens it out. So for those of you who have something in mind where you don't want the edges, you want them together. For example, you want to put this card like an edge together like that, opposing on a like a diamond paper. It would be worth your while to get 2 of these, because you can put them, for example, if this were a card right here, this white piece of paper I'm using for backing, you would put one die here in this corner and another die here in the other corner if the paper were, say, cut here. And then that way you can press it through with one clean swoop and get the embossing and the cutting together. I hope that makes sense, because if you only have, you cut out this one, you pull out your paper and try to put this one in, then it's not working. And I'm going to take Jenny's word for that, because she's very good, and she said she tried everything and couldn't get it to work. And the other thing that was confusing me is I was getting people ordering these sets and calling me back and ordering another set. And they said they had an idea in their head that they wanted to work out, and they were making, one lady I believe was making wedding cards, and it was just too much work to try to figure it out, so she was buying two to cut it. So I wanted to pass that tip on to you. Same thing with this die. I was thinking if you were to do that, you would put, you could put one like this and one like that and bring them close together for a beautiful design, and they look like they would fit right, kind of like a spoon together right there, and that would be so pretty to be able to run those through once and get that design. Because if you cut this out, run it in, and tried to run that, you crush some of this beautiful embossing detail that you would have. And then with this one, I was thinking the same thing, with you line it up that way and line this one up this way, and bring them, of course, as close together as you can. I can't do it because they're in the packaging, but bring them very close together and have a beautiful border, or even that far apart and have this running edge in the center here for kind of a ribbon or something. So I just wanted to share that tip with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please visit my blog for further ordering information and prices. And thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate the business, and thank you for my patience, for your patience, excuse me, with my life, because it's been very busy. And you've all been wonderful when I email you, and usually I try to get orders out the next day. When someone orders, I usually respond to emails, and it's been a day or two wait, and thank you for all your patience. I'll try to get back on track. Things are a little bit better, but now that my personal life has slowed down, the business has picked up, so my husband and I are frantically trying to get these orders out as quick as we can. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.